Meanwhile, the bank's giving you a hassle about your late payments. Well, just go bankrupt. Some Democrats want underwater homeowners to declare bankruptcy so they can stop making interest payments on their loans for 5 years and maybe qualify for rescue. Now, critics are arguing that the plan is not fair and that people who pay their mortgage every month are really getting screwed in a deal like this. Democratic Congressman John Garamendi supports this plan, says that's not a fair comparison. Congressman, what do you tell those who are dutifully paying their mortgage underwater or no?
Yeah. Well, they're doing the right thing. The bankruptcy issue isn't going to pass this Congress, but if it had, this problem would have been solved long ago. But let's take a look at
wait a minute, wait. How would it be solved if you allow people to go bankrupt? What would that do?
Well, it would have caused the banks very, very early on to rewrite those mortgages rather than to face a bankruptcy. That's what would have happened, but that was months ago.
So you're saying if everyone did this en masse, then the banks would have had no choice to sort of redo this, right?
Well, absolutely true. But let's look to the future, and the bankruptcy thing's not going to pass here, but what will pass, and what already has passed, is a program that the President has taken advantage of and has made about 1 million homeowners available to those who have been actually paying their mortgages but that are deeply underwater and unable to refinance because they're underwater. It's a very, very good program. It's going to allow them to reduce their monthly payments, be able to stay in place. And the second thing that he's done is the American Jobs Act. Ultimately, if a person's not working, they will lose their home. So let's get people back to work, and that's what the American Jobs Act does for well over 1.5 million, perhaps as many as 2 million Americans out there who will be able to go back to work and pay their mortgage.
Well, we don't know that for sure, but I mean, hope springs eternal. But I do want to ask you this, we do know in the history of some of these mortgage rewrite, rework programs that they don't work. And a lot of the same people who are on the verge of defaulting or outright defaulting do so all over again. So I know you have a great deal of compassion and heart for those who are in duress, but do you do more harm than good? Dig them even deeper in debt, and who are supposed to help them out deeper in debt for nothing.
Well, actually, if you could stay in your home, that's a better deal for the neighborhood. It's certainly a better deal for the person that's in their home, rather than to be out on the street and for that house to go into foreclosure and become a problem for the whole community.
But it's already happened, right? It's already happened. I mean, are you arguing it would even get worse than the 50% haircut we've seen in home values?
It could, no doubt about it. And certain neighborhoods, absolutely, it will happen. And there are two things here. One, if we can keep people in their home by allowing them to refinance, and the reason they can't refinance is that they don't have any equity left because the value of the home has dropped way below the value of the loan. The President's program allows a refinancing under that circumstance when people are actually making their current payments. That's going to put money that's going to save those people money. They can then put that money back into the economy in some other way. The only loss here is a ephemeral loss by the housing agencies, Freddie and Fannie, who stand to lose the principal, not just the interest. They're going to lose a little interest here, but that's not anything compared to the loss of principal. The second point is people have got to go back to work. If they don't have a job, they will eventually lose their home.
Shouldn't that be your focus, sir? Shouldn't that be your focus? Then let's get people back to work.
Absolutely.
And then these whole rework programs with the dicey history on them and the fact that they tend to make a bad situation worse. Maybe that
they don't.
We haven't improved the situation with the 4 rescue programs already out there. That's the bottom line, right?
Well, what's happening here is the President is taking one of those rescue programs, the HARP program, and reworking it, working out the kinks and the problems that existed in the earlier versions of it. Will this one work? We certainly hope so. It would seem to me that it would work because you're looking at people that are actually able to make their mortgage but cannot take advantage of the lower interest rates that now exist. They're probably paying 7%.
You're right. I mean, maybe it will. Maybe it will. But generally on these things is if you're digging a hole, and the same result, you got to put that shovel down, right?
No, you're not digging a hole here. What's happened, and let's go back to Franklin Roosevelt. He said, if it doesn't work, we're going to try something else because we got a problem here. Let's keep trying some new programs. This is a variation on an existing program. Will it work? I think it will certainly help. As I talk to the constituents in my county, Solano County, one of the worst in the area, they still have a job, but they're really stressed, and this gives them an opportunity to get out from underneath that stress, or at least reduce the stress. The other thing is the job program, and we really need a jobs program. Unfortunately, it's been stalled in the Senate and the House. I won't tell you who. I think you and the American public know who's stopping that jobs program from going forward.
Well,
but
a couple of
Democrats
in the Senate also
yeah,
stopped
but there were 51 votes for the program. They couldn't get the votes to break the filibuster. And by the way, I'm sick and tired of this filibuster thing. If some senator wants to filibuster, give them the microphone and start talking. Let's see how long they can last.
I agree with you on some of the rules. They are what they are. Rules are what they are. Yeah. But, I mean, you guys control that body and botch it.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough situation. We've got our own problem in the House where the Speaker will not even let it come up for a vote, and he has the ultimate control in the House. So we're not even going to get a chance to vote in the House unless the Speaker changes his mind.
All right, Congressman. We'll see how it all sorts out.
Always a pleasure, Neil.
Same here, sir.
Well, this is a serious problem for my constituents, and they want a job and they want to be able to stay in their home, and this is what we need to do, get the American Jobs Act going, and let's keep tinkering with these programs until they finally work, and I think the President has hit upon a
You're tinkering with a credit line, though. You know, that's the fact.
Well, no, the credit line here is Freddie and Fannie, who stand to lose the principal.
Okay.
All we're talking about here is the interest difference between, say, 6-7% and 3.5 or 4%.
Well, it might be better than the others. You don't know. Hope springs, as I say, eternal. Congressman, great seeing you again.
Always. Take care.
Meanwhile,